Hi everyone, so we are from group 2. In here, we're gonna present the result of our discussions regarding the chapter 7 material precisely about tense marker. Of course, I'm not alone in here. I'm alongside with my friends Kanti Rahayu, I'm Ravi Ardiansyah, Fitri, Aulia, Mahalli, and Alya, Syaharani. So the first material that I'm gonna explain is the verbs. So in English, verbs are marked for the time. It means that verb change form depending on when the actions happened. These changes in verb form are called tense marker. For example, the verb go changes to went in the past tense or to is going in the present continuous. So English tense these forms to show not just when the actions happen but also how it happens, whether it is complete, in progress, repeated, or habitual. So let's compare to that in Bahasa Indonesia. Bahasa Indonesia does not use tense marker. Instead of changing the verb forms, Bahasa Indonesia relies on time adverbs such as kemarin, which yesterday, sekarang, now, or nanti, later, to show when something happened. The verb itself stay usually the same. For instance, the verb pergi stay the same whether we say pergi kemarin or pergi besok. The time expressions give us the clue, not the verb. Because of these differences, translating from Bahasa Indonesia to English requires special attentions to verb forms. As translator, we must carefully pay attention to match the verb forms in English with the correct tense based on the time information provided in the Indonesian sentences. So let's take a closer look at how English verb forms work. There are specific verb patterns in English that express different tenses. These patterns signal when and how the actions happen. For example, simple past tense used when the second form of the verb such as went or ate. Present perfect use have or has plus the past participle like have eaten. These forms act as tense marker that communicate both the timing and the nature of the actions. Now let's discuss the common mistake made by us Indonesians learner when translating to English. The first common mistake is using present verb with a past time adverb. For examples, in here we have they go to cinema last night. These sentences are incorrect because last night is a past time adverb. So the verb should be in the same past tense. So the right one would be they went to cinema last night. So the second common mistake is forgetting auxiliary verbs in negative or perfect tenses. For example, he does not went to the party. This is incorrect because in English when we use does not, the main verb must return to its base form. The correct version would be he did not go to the party. This mistake usually happen because in Bahasa Indonesia verb form does not change. So learners often forget that in English verbs and auxiliary verbs must agree with the tenses. The subject, whether the sentence is positive or negative. So the next material will be explained by our fellow.
Hello, my name is Kanti Rahayu. I want to explain about how English changes verbs. English verbs change from two indefinite tenses. Unlike some languages that rely heavily on context or time words, English verbs actually change form to show the timing of an action. For example, we say she walks to school every day, and then present simple or happens regularly. Next, she walked to school yesterday, and past simple or happened in the past. This change help listeners or readers immediately understand when something occurred. And next, specific verbs from act as tense markers. Different tenses use different patterns or structure that act markers for time. Some of the most common include past simple structure, subject plus verb, or past form and plus object. Example: he wrote a letter last week. This tenses tells us the action is finished and happened in the past. And next, present continuous structure, subject plus is or am plus or are plus verb ing. Example, they are playing football right now. These tenses show the action is happening at the moment of speaking. And next, present perfect continuous. Structure subject plus have or has been plus verb ing. Example, we have been studying for weeks. These tenses indicates that the action start in the past and is still continuing or has a present result. And next, future simple. Structure subject plus will plus base verb. Example, I will visit my grandma tomorrow. This shows a plain action that will happen in the future.
Next is about time adverb. In time adverb, we will discuss about the role of adverb. First is the time adverb specify when the actions occurs. This adverb to give a clear information about the time of the actions. For example, like yesterday, now, tomorrow. And then adverb must match with the verb max. Why? Because if the adverb shows past time, of course, we will use past tense verbs. And if the adverb shows present or future, the verb tense must follow it. Why this match is important? Because is it to make a grammatically correct sentence. Next is the example time adverb by tense. We have a three we will discuss. The first is past tense. Of course, this is used when something that already happened. For example, we can use like yesterday, last week, and 2 days ago, and etc. Next is about the present tense. This is used for the habits or that are happening now. For example, like now and then every day, always, etc. Next, last is about the future tense. This is used for something that will happen in the future. So we can use like tomorrow, next week, soon, and etc.
Hello, my name is Alya Syaharani Handini, and you can call me Alya. So the next slide is about spotting the traps and mistakes to avoid. Mistake number 1 is past time adverb plus present tense verb. The wrong example is they go last night. The right sentence is they went last night. How to fix it? You have to match the verb tense with the time expression because it already happened in the past or last night, so you have to use went. And mistake number 2, incorrect auxiliary verb use. The wrong example is he does not win. The correct example is he does not go. And how to fix it? You have to use the base verb after auxiliaries like do or does. So you have to use verb 1, that is go, not went, after doesn't. And mistake number 3, mixed tenses in one sentence. The wrong example is she is watching TV and cooked dinner. And the right sentence is she is watching TV and cooking dinner. So you have to use consistent tenses unless the time shift is intended. Because in the example, the first verb is watching, it's verb ing. So the second or the next verb, it must be in a verb ing too. So it must be cooking, not cooked.
So, in this part, we will talk about translation challenge. And the first is semantic equivalence. Many words or phrases do not have direct equivalent in other languages. For example, some of the word or languages require descriptive translation to capture their full meaning. And the second is untranslatability. Some idioms expression, or culture-specific terms cannot be translated directly. Translators must find creative ways to convey the intended message. And the third is language structure. Different languages have unique grammatical structure. For instance, English use subject, verb, object, while other languages may use different patterns, requiring translator to rearrange the sentence for clarity and accuracy. And the fourth is idioms and expressions. Idiomatic phrases often lose their meaning when translated literally. For example, break a leg in English means good luck, but a literal translation could be confusing or shocking other culture. And the next is compound words and false friend. Some compound words or terms may have meanings that are not obvious from their component. For example, bookworm. It will be misleading due to similar words in both languages with different meanings. The next is culture nuances. It means that culture deeply influenced language. Translators must understand both of source and target culture to avoid misunderstanding and ensure the message resonates with the intended audience. And the last is dialect regional. It means that language often have numerous dialects like in Indonesia, each with unique vocabulary and usage which can complete translation further.